What's happening, guys? Safety Liner C2 here. I've got a particularly odd lot to show you. It was submitted by Dante the Guy 6622, and it confuses me. So we're going to take a look at that lot first, and then we'll take a look at a couple other nearby lots so that this isn't just like a 2 or 3 minute video. Anyways, we are in Philadelphia, September 2017. Starting us off, we have a bunch of Ford vans that say school students on them that are not school buses. Then in the background, we can see a first gen CE and a Bluebird 3800 further back. Then we have a Shorty CE and a handicapped FS65, a CE, a C2, some sort of Collins, and a first gen CE. November 2016 shows us a second gen CE, a first gen CE, and a Crown by Carpenter. Then we have what appears to be a Thomas 3800 and some sort of Thomas with this extended emergency exit. I've always found that weird looking. There's two C2s. We have a Crown by Carpenter that's completely gutted out and reminds me of 59. These two Collins right here that are both handicapped, as well as these Collins back here. The Collins are where things start to get interesting. Remember, we're in Pennsylvania. But if you take a look at the Collins, you can pretty clearly see that these are not Pennsylvania buses. These are California buses. If we take a look at the bus on the left, we can see that the stop sign is missing a bulb and that the crossview mirror is gone. So I'm guessing that means that that bus is probably junked, and I'm willing to bet that the one in between that and the Crown by Carpenter is also junked. Those buses are pretty clearly out of service. You know, they're being used for storage or maybe as a parts bus. So one could think, okay, maybe the company has some money and, you know, needs storage buses or whatever, and shipped some buses from California out to Philadelphia. Now these are the same buses in August 2014 based off of the numbers, and we can very clearly see that these are not junked buses. What makes it even more interesting is that there's not just 2 of them, but a whole row of them all appearing to be in good condition. But then we have these 2 Collins here on the end that are not California spec'd. Moving back to November 2012, we can see this Carpenter 3800, and yet again, more of these California spec'd Collins. We also have this Shorty Bluebird 3800 again next to one of those California Collins. With the exception of the 2 on the far right, April 2012 shows us all California Collins. And finally, potato quality August 2008, we can see a Bluebird 3800 up front, an International CE, and pretty much just an entire Type C lot, with the exception of this midbus. So the $1 million question is, why are California Collins being used in Philadelphia? California is and has always been the place where single rear stop signs are a thing. I can't think of any other time in any other place outside of California that single rear stop signs were a spec. And as far as I'm aware, that's not allowed anywhere outside of California. So I think there's 2 different possibilities as to why those buses are there. The first one is that they could be used as charter or trip buses and not school buses. So they bought a bunch of buses in California at a cheaper price, shipped them across the country, and can now use them for shorter field trips around the city. The second one might seem like a little bit of a stretch just because we obviously don't know, but maybe there's just a loophole somewhere and they're able to use those as actual school buses. And maybe they were somehow able to say, hey, you know, the stop sign's still there. It's on a shorter bus, and in reality, it's just a couple feet back, but it just happens to be at the back of the bus now. I feel like if that loophole is a thing, it'd be easier to pull off on a Type A rather than a Type C or D, just because they are bigger buses. So I don't have the slightest clue as to why those buses are there. They looked like they were being used, shipped across the country with a spec that only one state does. If anyone has any information or any insight as to why these buses are there, and if they were being used or maybe they weren't, let me know, please. I'm really interested in solving this one. Alright, we're going to stay in Philadelphia. We're going to take a look at just a couple other lots that are nearby and see if we can find anything as interesting. Not too far of a drive brings us to October 2019, where we can see this Bluebird 3800. Then we have what appears to be a first gen CE, some sort of Bluebird, some sort of Thomas, and a C2 in the background. September 2017, we can see a second gen CE here with a black hood. We have a few Shorty Bluebird 3800s, a junked Thomas, and a second gen CE. And from the back of the lot, we can see another first gen CE and a second gen in the background. And finally, just up the road, April 2023, we can see a bunch of C2s in the lot. We have a couple Minnow Tours with some Collins thrown in as well. June 2021 shows us some more Minnow Tours, C2s, and we have a couple second gen CEs. And finally, October 2016, unfortunately, first student written on the side of this Corbe. We have some more Minnow Tours and Collins in the background. Again, mostly Minnow Tours and Collins over here. Another Corbe, some second gen CEs, CEs and some more second gen CEs wrapped around the lot. And there you have it. Again, I've got to figure out why those California Collins are out in Philadelphia. Again, if you have any insight as to why those buses are there, please let me know. And if you know of or find any buses that stick out like a sore thumb, or they're just somewhere where they don't belong, let me know in the video request form, where you can also submit stuff for bus stuff for sale, the picture videos, or any one of my videos. And with that, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe right down here. It's a magical white button that says you are now subscribed to Safety Liner C2. Make sure you comment up here, down here, over here, or over here. I don't know where they put it, I don't care where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or we're never going to find out why those buses are out there. And make sure you also share this video with a friend, show it to your mom, show it to your dad, show it to a guy on a random street. I don't care, don't let anything happen to you. So yeah guys, that's going to do it for this video, and thanks for watching.